You guys know I love a good story. A good story can be anything, but especially a good myth. When you can exaggerate something or make something up, the story inevitably becomes better. So what I like is when in WoW, people like to make up their own stories and trick other players and urban legends are born. So in this video I'm going to look at the top 5 myths in World of Warcraft. Number 5. This is my favourite myth. As far as an urban legend goes, there is nothing better than one that is almost believable. The Sunwell twins are an interesting beast. For the longest time, the easiest order of killing them wasn't even considered, which is strange given the amount of theory crafting that goes into progressive raiding. They were the first boss not to be defeated the day a Sunwell gate was opened, so they must be fucking uber hard. No, these things took 2 days, and suddenly a forum troll from a competing guild mentioned one crucial phrase. They used the lamppost. That was it. The myth was born. Among the raiding circles, the lamppost became an inside joke, but of course for those who follow the race closely but have little understanding of hardcore raiding, differentiating between the truth and legend isn't an easy thing, and many people believe Nylon had exploited the kill. Let's just wait for the ban. Here is the offensive post in question. The myth was that the whole guild had managed to stand on top of this post, bypassing the enormous raid damage caused by the twins, allowing them to kill like some kind of circus performance. The best part of this myth is how simple a trolly statement is taken in by so many, backed up by how many people buy into the yearly April Fool's jokes Blizzard and guilds like to throw out there. Can you believe we live in a world where it's plausible that a raid pull couldn't take place until 20 plus people all managed to leap onto a post? Unfortunately, this myth is simply a myth. Number 4. I never played Diablo or Diablo 2, so when I first heard about the cow level, I was like, what? From the phrasing, I thought that the cow level was genuinely something you could get after you capped, that turned you into a cow. Or, well, hell, I don't even know what the fuck I thought it was other than shit. Who wants to be a cow? Yeah, me. Fuck. Blizzard denied the existence of cow levels for the longest time. The origins of this myth begin in the original Diablo, where some players declared that they had performed some sort of physical interaction with a cow, and it had opened a portal to a secret cow level filled with wonderful magic-wielding bovine enemies. The spark was lit, and forevermore the cow level would be discussed. Blizzard's denial of its existence didn't help much. Simply having a blue mention the cow level adds fuel to the fire. Then in Diablo 2, a secret cow level. Obviously an inside nod to the fans, but it fanned the flames even more, leading to its mythology in WoW. Blizzard introduced a loading screen tip simply reading, "There is no cow level." Across Azeroth, the hunt was on for the cow level. I'm sure the Blues were laughing their asses off at the thought of players hunting for the cows, and the thought of players dancing, lolling, poking, and generally doing weird things to cows across the world. They even used the phrases as codes for cheats in StarCraft, and in some other ways throughout Blizzard games. In Testament, Diablo 3 also features a version of the cow level too. More of a tribute to bronies, but this one myth is never going to die. But in terms of WoW, it's just another myth. Number 3. These are a couple of the minor myths that come and go every now and again. I wanted them to have their own place, but a top 6 is just retarded. What's wrong with this picture? Occasionally a screenshot or a forum thread appears from some rogue saying, "I miss my shield." And then a multitude of people are going, "Huh? What? Noob." But then again, some myths aren't always baseless. Back in the testing phase of WoW, rogues and hunters could use not shields, but bucklers. Less powerful versions of shields, but shields nonetheless. This was an odd decision. Why the hell would a stabby stab rogue, or a hunter for that matter, want to use a shield? Not that WoW has always been truly faithful to the RP value of its classes, just look at shield barrier. I make a magical shield for some reason. Okay. It was removed from the game pretty damn swiftly, and for good reason. I cannot imagine how weird it would be, not just from a balance perspective, but just to have the option to do this. We've already seen how hard some players find it to play their classes correctly, either trying to be a melee hunter or using swords with a dagger spec. Add shields into this mix and we have a major problem on our hands. No doubt we would have a spate of rogues trying to tank, as if that would ever work. Archaeology was a huge failure for the majority of players. For something that was supposed to only reward collectibles and vanity items, its major downfall was adding in useful items. We had caster staffs, tank shields, and healing trinkets to name a few, which drew the attention of raiders, including myself. As a DK, the Zin Rock was an item really only comparable to the normal Ash Candy, or a good PvP weapon. So off I went like so many others to do some archaeology. I hated every damn second of this, and the fact that I had to do it again for this video reminded me of how much I detested it. I even read up on gaining the weapon before I started, introducing the first myth that you can only discover Zin Rock when you are capped with archaeology. So I saved every single one of my troll tablets for that moment of capping archaeology and having good odds on making my weapon. I saved over 500 tablets, was ready to begin, having capped archaeology from everything but the materials I was actively farming. It was great relief. I began spamming that button. No sword. No fucking sword. To the forums! Oh my god, rumour mania abound. I suggest you check it out yourself. Hundreds and hundreds of rumours surrounding the discovery of the weapon. The most retarded, not only because I actually tried this, was to only do troll solves while standing on Hakar's pillar inside ZG. Still no sword to this day. At the end of the day, random chance is random, but the fact that this weapon had me standing like a lunatic inside an old ZG still gets on my nerves. Number 2. This is something I heard about while I was very early on in leveling for the first time. GM Island, a place where the powerful gods of WoW hang out, relax and mock the foolish people looking for the cow level. GM Island was foretold as a mysterious island located somewhere off Azeroth's shores, located early in the game as GMs were able to be added to the friends list, and when they were, sometimes, just sometimes, they were listed as being located on GM Island. The hunt was on. Where is this place? Eventually the mysterious island is found off the coast of Teldrassil. It's actually impossible to access without glitching the game terrain. It's protected via geography, complete with fatigue death if you try and swim there. It's a weird place with some small design elements such as a tower from Stormwind, but the most interesting area is located far beneath GM Island, known as GM Prison, a white padded room that contains a single chair. It's never been used and is probably just a joke from the devs. It's creepy as shit though. GM's Island Actual's purpose is just for the GMs to log in and out of the game before porting away to wherever they are needed, but the simple inaccessibility makes for a worthy point of mystery. Number 1. This is the most profound myth in the game, and one that has been hunted and talked about since it was first seen. That's right, it's actually been seen. Probably as a joke or some GM trying to be flashy, but showing this thing caused nerd boners from Stormwind to Orgrimmar. The Ashbringer has epic lore I won't bore you with, but I suggest you look it up. Essentially the sword of Alexandros Mograine, ultimately falling into the hands of Tyrion Fordring for use against Arthas. Blizzard was once again adding fuel to the fire with this one, with NPCs mentioning its existence and data mined stats of the weapon being found. The most hilarious of these were pointers to Nat Pagal knowing the location of the lost weapon, bringing on the best troll ever in WoW, that somehow you could fish up this weapon. Across Azeroth, players spent countless hours fishing in random places, hoping to either fish up the weapon or some quest starter which would reward the Ashbringer. Even when a GM confirmed that the Ashbringer was not in the game, players continued to speculate about its location, about mysterious slimes that casted unusual spells. The most logical explanation to where the Ashbringer ended up is that it was changed to a less lore-intensive item, which ultimately was the Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker. Some of the earlier Ashbringer lore made reference to Blackwing Lair, and then the Thunder Fury was forged. With Naxxramas featuring Mograine in the Four Horsemen fight, Blizzard allowed players to loot a corrupted Ashbringer, which the devs would ultimately say was a mistake, as players are convinced, despite being told otherwise, that the weapon can eventually be purified into the original sword. Wielding the corrupted Ashbringer gave players access to a very unique event in Scarlet Monastery, showing huge lore value surrounding this sword's legacy and cementing this as the best and most interesting myth ever in World of Warcraft. If you like this video, why don't you go ahead and like it and share it around, and maybe I'll make some more.